Hi, I'm Pad. I'm the director of product at Wheels. I'm here today with my colleague Zach, who's our lead iOS engineer and actually is the person who built the tool. So excited to have him demo it for you today. Just a quick agenda, go through what is Wheels, who are we, sort of define what our problem was, who the users were, demo the product, and then talk about what's next for us. So what is Wheels? We are a micromobility e-company. This is our device, a little different than the scooters. It's a two-wheeled seated electric bike, no pedals. We launched in August 2018. We're currently permitted in 20 international cities, and we offer a variety of different products. One being the short-term single ride, so what you might be most familiar with, pick up and drop off anywhere in a city. A long-term, where we actually rent our bikes out for 30 days plus, and we're recently have launched a business line for personal ownership. So what was the problem and who are we solving this for? We are a locations business. Everything we do is determined by the location of the user, the location of the bike. One of our biggest partners is our cities. So cities, have a variety of rules and regulations that they want us to follow. They want the bike to operate in a certain way, in a certain place, and left in a certain location. And as Wheels, we wanted to find our own rules about how a bike works, the pricing, the speed, hours of operation, even the user experience. These rules are dynamic. They're constantly changing. They might change month over month. They're temporal. So, if a farmer's market pops up in a normal operation zone, we need to change something for 8 hours a day. And they're ever expanding. We're constantly adding new rules. So at a specific location, we have up to 50 plus rules that might impact how the bike will operate or what the user might see. So this is very difficult to manage for one, our operations team, city ops team, making sure that they've set up every region the way they expect it to. And also with our customer support team who has to handle questions about why did my bike not work here? Why can't I end my ride here? So showed a little example of what our app looks like with some of these rules visible. You can see the gray areas are kind of no ride zones. We have some marketing material about renting a long-term bike, and then even just the pricing. So one of the big issues we had is how do we make sure we're setting up our cities the way we were supposed to? So before our solution, we did a lot of manual verification, taking a bike out into the field, riding it around, trying to park it, trying to end it. Honestly, that's very time consuming. It's a one-off, it's for that moment, long feedback loop. So it wasn't consistent. Word of mouth. Like I said, these rules are dynamic. Somebody might change things and then it becomes a Slack, an email, a person-to-person conversation. So that becomes inconsistent. Information isn't shared readily. And then finally, it's swivel chair of tools that we call it, where we're looking at spreadsheets, we're looking at data dashboards, screenshots of what a city might look like in Orlando when I'm in LA, location spoofing, just all these kind of workarounds to really try and simulate what would it be like if I was in a specific location. What we built, the goal was to allow team members to simulate the user experience based on any location. So if I'm sitting in LA, or if I'm sitting in San Francisco, what's happening in Madrid? Why is there issues with the bikes in Madrid? I think what's really cool about this is this wasn't a roadmap project. This was, and really a testament to Retool was, we as a product and engineering team kept getting requests about why is the bike doing this? And, finding out that, a config was set wrong or something like that. And so Zach, who I'm going to kick this off to, took it upon himself to build a tool to stop answering questions for himself. So maybe it's a little self-serving for him, but it's a tool that just got more information to our team members so they can make better decisions. He built it with Mapbox, which is sort of the map visualization, all of our existing API endpoints that basically simulated what the app looks like, and then DB queries. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Zach.
Thank you. So I want to talk a little bit about the tool itself. Like Pat said, we use the map component for this, and I kind of want to go through this as how an operations manager would use the tool because they're responsible for all the rules or majority of the rules on this map. So let's say they wanted to just turn off a block in Venice so that no one can ride there for whatever reason. So we'll zoom in. We see all our GeoJSON here. These are all our regions. And the first thing they'll want to do is verify that the outside of the boundary they just made, that you can ride in it. So the center pin there is actually the center of the map, which is where we're going to query. And you can see that the configs have changed inside that box. Can ride is false. And then you can also see a big list of all these rules. So you can really dive deep and check and make sure that everything is working right for this region. You can also click a pin on the region for that GeoJSON and see the specific name of that region, and then query it in a table to see all the actual configs for that specific region and filter based on anything you could possibly want to filter on, just to make sure everything is looking good. So there's the tool. What this let us do is, for one, obviously, we can go around anywhere on the map and query and check any of our regions, and there's a lot of them, which wasn't really possible before we built this tool, besides just asking someone in that region to check their app. It also let us reduce the amount of errors by making a change and checking it real time. And it really just let everyone at the company get a lot more power under their fingertips to check and validate and do the due diligence on our regions. And as you can imagine, this led to launching cities a lot faster, because that's when we're making the majority of our regions in a city. So it really sped that up as well. And we have a couple things we want to add to this. Obviously, a search bar would be helpful. So just type in Venice Boardwalk and it'll go straight there. And we also want to add actual ride data to just give a little bit of context and know like how rides are changing throughout the day. And then we also want to add some WebGL so we can utilize the graphics card and load our regions a little faster on those really heavy screens. And that's everything. Thank you.